Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is our greeting one another as brothers and sisters in Christ peace. We're within your household groups. Feel free to do the howdy hi hugs. Outside of household groups, we're still at wave and bowing and all that good stuff. And this is where you get to sit down. And I get to keep singing. So in case you didn't recognize that particular song, that was the anniversary waltz. And I planted a seed with Nancy, knowing that officially yesterday was Larry and Nancy's 50th, and said, you know, have you got the anniversary waltz? And I have to say there was a little twinkle in her eye, and she said, no. But I could get it. So happy 50th and the prelude. When I told Linda that, I said, I don't know if it's going to be the prelude or the postlude, and she said, you ought to get a recording and play it so they can actually waltz while it's playing. I said, I don't know if they dance. You know, if Jim and Joy were here for that, I said, that'd be a no-brainer. So happy anniversary. 50 years. Wow. Let's see. What announcements do we have today? So today's the second in a series of the sermon that kind of came out of our last book study, you know, why the church. And reason 2 is real people, and hopefully you'll understand what I'm trying to do with that once we're through with that. And today happens to be American Indian Ministries Sunday. And I thought, maybe I should put I'm going to stay with the sermon series. Then I said, wait a minute. So my stole today is actually a Navajo ceremonial sash. And one of the times Linda and I were visiting or moving or something, we were in New Mexico heading to or from Arizona. And we went by this stand where they were selling Native American souvenirs. And I saw this. And I asked the young lady, you know, what it was, and she told me. I said, would it be inappropriate for a Christian minister to wear a Navajo ceremonial sash as a stole? And she said, well, wait a minute. And she grabbed her cell phone, called Grandma, who made it, explained it to her in Navajo, and then she got off the phone and she said, Grandma said she would be honored. So, in honor of American Indian Ministry Sunday, I wear this Navajo ceremonial sash today. Let's see. Still have upper rooms. Grab those. Again, don't do us any good back there. I did pick up some used copies of Dick Van Dyke's Faith, Hope, and Hilarity. So I've got this one. There's 3 of them sitting over there. If you want to grab one, take it home. give it a quick thumb through. Did you get a chance to look at it all through?
Just a little bit. The week got crazy, but
Okay.
yeah, I think it's going to be a good one.
Think it'd be a good one? Okay, all right. So, maybe sometime here in the next couple of weeks. And there's only one edition of this, so I bought these as kind of to test. But before we actually do it, if you want to do this, I will leave it to people to get their own copies. You can go on Amazon, and it's a hardback, used, with shipping. You get it for less than $7. Of course, it was written in 1970. Anything else happened special in 1970 you think of? Just seems appropriate. Just seems appropriate. Let's see. So, Operation Christmas Child, in case you walked in and said, did I miss decorating for Christmas?
It looks great.
And why are we doing it at the end of September? So Operation Christmas Child is alive and well, not to be confused with Operation Santa Claus, which is doing something very different and is local, Delaware County type stuff. So Operation Christmas Child is happening. That's a visual reminder. RJ brought in one shoebox filled today, and there's lists of things that, if you're wondering what should I or shouldn't I get to put in said boxes, that's up here. So that's a going thing. And what else do you want to say about?
There's, so the Coggan Mission store donated us a whole bunch of Christmas cards to put in our shoeboxes. There's some up there. You'll notice they don't have envelopes because I took the envelopes out because at our processing center, if anything is sealed in an envelope, we have to open it up. So I thought, well, this will just save us time doing that. So they really recommend us to put some kind of note. And in the past, we have put a note, but I thought people from our church might grab a few cards, write whatever you want in them. If you can sign your own name, you can sign the church, whatever, just as a note. I mean, one of the ladies, when she came to talk to us at the processing center, she still had her note from when she was a kid and got a box. Wow. So it means a lot to them. If you want to stick a picture of your family or anything like that in there, that's fine too. So bring it back and we'll get them put in boxes.
Processing November, packing day is November 8th.
Yeah. So,
and anything else you want to say about Operation Santa Claus?
Operation Santa Claus is Delaware County thing, and they canceled it this year. They normally give coats and snow pants and that kind of stuff to families. Since they canceled it, when I listened to it on radio, the ladies in charge asked that churches kind of fill the need. Yeah, and so in the past, I think Operation Santa Claus families contacted them, which I'm not sure that we really have to do that because we're not going to affiliate with them. If the congregation feels like this is something we could maybe do something for a couple families or whatever, I asked Pastor Kurt if he knew of any families in the Cedar Rapids area that had a need, or I will contact Jenny Cutland and Kyla Lux, since they both work in our schools, to see if they know of any families that we can, and maybe it's not clothes and hats, maybe it's just a $50 gift card to Fairway or whatever somebody might need. So, let me know if there's that need. I don't think it has to happen today. I'll make another announcement maybe next week or whatever, and see if there's people who are willing to do something. And I'm willing to collect, go by, do whatever.
Facilitate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Lita's talked about taking what young people we have to go shopping for a family too.
Yeah.
So we'll get a name for them.
Do they do that through Operation Santa Claus or Operation New Year? Do you know?
They did that through Operation Santa Claus.
Okay, so since they're not doing that, I may talk to Lita also and see if I can work with her, and if the congregation comes with more stuff than what the youth group wants to, maybe I'll work with her. Because that's what I know they've done that in the past, because I know RJ and Gracie have gone shopping many years.
And then batting cleanup, what did you want to say about Sleep in Heavenly Peace?
Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
We talked earlier.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Shirley and RJ went yesterday behind F&M Bank, and make beds.
We helped make 20 beds. They came with the raw lumber, and they have it really organized. Keith Kramer, Jeff Madlin, my co-host, they worked, there's four of these in Iowa, and there's one here. And they've done just amazing. Since July, I think it's 26th, they've delivered 50 beds in Delaware County for kids that never had a bed. And with that goes a new set of bedding and people that have a talent. Like, I know Lake is connected with them. When we were sanding boards yesterday and RJ was drilling holes, they have a template to make sure they're marked so they can put them together. And these dear little old ladies that quilt, and not so little old ladies, young people that have that talent, brought piles of blankets and freshly quilted, and they were checking each other's quilt designs out to see who could come up. But it was, everybody brought a talent, and you just had to be willing to work and get a little bit dirty. And
they branded each end piece.
they had a branding iron with the SIHP on it, so you got to brand the bed. It was just some of the young Mormon people were there, and they were doing the staining, which they made out of water and the old-fashioned scrubbers. It makes an acid. It's kind of a red stain, but it's safe.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
So in about 2.5 hours, those 20 beds are all bundled up, ready to go out to people. And they had one set up in the street. They can either be single beds or bunk beds. The way they're made.
They were nice.
They were very
Cool.
nice. Yeah. So if anybody gets a chance, they're going to do one strictly for F&M employees, because that's where Keith works, and they got enough employees they want to gather at his farm. And then they're going to probably do one more, and I'm not sure where that'll be, but it was an amazing experience just to be there.
Wonderful.
So the needs there for, Shirley and I talked about this, and we thought we'd do bedding, but now that she has some stuff, and I know they'll need money for mattresses and things like that. So that's kind of our third thing that we want.
There's a trifecta of opportunity.
Yeah.
Whichever program kind of tickles your fancy, or as Linda would say, tickles your fancy. Jump in on 1, 2, or all 3 if that's where you feel.
Yeah. And so there again, I can help facilitate that and get money or whatever to keep in charge of her.
Yep.
Okay. And then the only other announcement I have, my understanding is this coming Saturday is Potatoes and Squash Day. Starting at what time? 8 o'clock. All right.
On the dot. On the dot.
8 o'clock.
Not 8-ish.
Not 8.
8-ish.
8-ish, okay, got it.
8-ish.
8-ish, got it. All right.
And no help will be turned away at 9.
That's right. But if you come at 9, bring donuts, right?
I'll be here.
Oh, they'll be here anyway. Any other announcements need to be made? I see that all the committee assignments that were here are gone, so I'm assuming either people picked them up, or the people who didn't pick them up, they got a stamp and got sent in the mail or dropped off or something. Any other announcements need to be made? Okay, well then our music for this week, with all that's been going on with the camp in Southern California with the fires, and then with the derecho we had, I know a woodworking friend in Marion. I was up at Pilgrim Heights this week and picking up chunks of different kinds of wood for him. I asked him, I said, John, so, and he's a good staunch Lutheran, I said, wouldn't it be wonderful to take something from the destruction of the derecho and turn it into items of beauty? He says, yeah, I like that. I said, I'm going to go up to our camp, and so I found, chunks of cherry wood and walnut and white oak and red oak, and so I've been thinking a lot about camp and in thinking about music for this week. My ministry buddy that I first met through camp in Southern California, Jim Manley, came out with a new CD, and so I picked 3 songs. So today we're going to hear from Jim, who recently turned 80 and celebrated his 80th birthday by doing an 80-mile bike ride.
Good for me.
Amen. Good for him.
When the rain has lashed the window pane, when the night wind's rising high, when we underneath the counterpane, then my heart heaves a holy sigh. Hear the castle, hear the grand domain, hear the splendor of the land. Hear my heart sings a good and glad refrain. We hold the kingdom in our hand. No distant sacred space, no ancient holy place, no royal realm command. We hold the kingdom in our hand. When your arms reach out to comfort me, when you bless me with your eyes, when I count your kindness done for me, then my heart heaves a holy sigh. Your dear face is lined and beautiful, light and shadow like this night. Faithfulness more free than dutiful, flesh grows holy in love's sight. No distant sacred space, no ancient holy place, no royal realm command. We hold the kingdom in our hand. Lash your rain against the window pane, blow your wind so wild and high, warm and one beneath the counterpane, me and my old lover lie. Hear the castle, hear the grand domain, hear the splendor of the land. Hear our heart sings a good and glad refrain. We hold the kingdom in our hand. No distant sacred space, no ancient holy place, no royal realm command. We hold the kingdom in our hand. We hold the kingdom in our hand.
And as we were just talking about Operation Christmas Child, Operation Santa Claus, sleep in heavenly peace, yeah, we do hold the kingdom in our hands, and we're called to share it. So as we come to our time of prayer today, this COVID-19 thing just seems to keep on and on. I don't want to call it our new normal because I want us to get past it. I call it our normal for now. That's my new phrase. It's our normal for now. It's our normal for now. Racial tensions, and it seems like other tensions in our country as we ramp up towards elections every 4 years. I really wish we'd figure a way to get away from all those tensions. Our friend Dixie Laube, the Reverend Dixie Laube, who participated in the book study, she has in fact had a very positive conversation with two churches up near Osage, and I'm one of her references, and I got a call, and it's pretty clear that if Dixie is willing to say yes, that search committee between the two churches is going to recommend her as their candidate. So, she's heavily into the discernment process. Is this where she feels God calling her to be in ministry? So I would ask that you keep Dixie in our thoughts and prayers. Kind of be fun being in the same association with Dixie. I get to see her at some meetings. And then on a sad note, I hope I can get through this, I asked for prayers for college theater buddy of mine who had open heart surgery, and he knew it was a risk because he had a lot of underlying health problems, and he just wasn't strong enough to withstand the surgery, and he passed away yesterday morning. So at some point in October, I'll be using one of my Sunday vacation days Because last I talked to Pete, he says, if this doesn't go well, you will come and do my service. And, you know, yes, I will. And I don't feel comfortable even with masks and distancing and sanitizing flying. So I'm going to be driving to Phoenix, and that's almost 1,600 miles. So to go and do a service is going to be a week to 10-day trek. So stay posted. I'm hoping that by the time she puts it together, it'll be on into the second half of October. I hope I'm here for Communion Sunday next Sunday and for Lord's Acre Days. I'm very hopeful. So. Are there other persons, joys, concerns that we need to be aware of as we come to prayer today? 50 years, wow. Well, we're not too far behind. You know, we hit 44 this last day. Anybody else?
I have two things. I have a friend who is having surgery tomorrow. My friend preferred that the name not be out there, which is first for my friend who's having surgery tomorrow.
Okay.
And prayers for Steve's mom and all of the residents and staff at Hiawatha Care. They managed to protect everyone from COVID until about a month ago. And in the last month, they've had 3 COVID deaths and, I don't know, 20-some residents that have tested positive and 16 staff. And
I think it's like 27, 8 or 9. It's almost up to 30. Yeah.
And you know, Steve's mom is like most everyone else in that home. She has a lot of underlying conditions.
Others?
Jackson?
Huh?
Jackson?
Our grandson Jack's friend was in a car accident early Sunday morning, it was in Nancy. And Todd was at the hospital in Waverly, but they took him right to Mayo, I guess, so that was back for Todd. But it's real severe. And they did, at one point they were considering whether they had to amputate part of something, so we don't know very much more yet.
The cobwebs, is this Hunter Poppy?
Other copies.
Okay. Wow, pulled that one out.
So he's still in bad condition.
Okay.
I guess Todd's surgery went well, and they just cleaned up some tendons or whatever they